Welcome to this edition of Straight Goods on Golf. My name is Brian Hann, and here we are at the beautiful 4th green at Cordova Bay Golf Course. We're going to have a look today at what happens greenside when your ball isn't sitting up pretty, it's down a little bit in longer grass, and why sometimes when we hit these shots our club gets stuck in the ground, the ball barely gets to the green or sometimes doesn't even reach the green. So part of this is going to be in choosing the right tool for the shot, and then we'll look at how we execute the shot. So I brought out a lob wedge today and a 9-iron. Lob wedge is sometimes referred to as a 60-degree because it describes the amount of loft on here. For comparative, my 9-iron has 42 degrees of loft, but that's not really the big difference we want to look at today. We want to look at the bottom of the club, or the sole, and have a look at the radius of the sole, the width of the sole, and also the bounce angle on the club. So the idea is to choose a club that acts more like a spoon instead of a butter knife, to have your club glide through the shot and not get stuck in the ground. Let's have a quick look. I'm going to demonstrate without a ball first to have a look-see at what that might look like. I've got my 9-iron, which is a pretty thin sole, and it has about 2 degrees of bounce on it. And bounce is a term that people are not that clear about in golf. I'm going to show you today what that means. The bounce angle is the difference between the leading edge and the trailing edge when you set the club straight up with the shaft vertical in the air. So for our purposes right now, this is a low bounce club. It's a thin blade, and this is a club that's susceptible to digging in, especially if the ball is lying down in a nested lie. So we might get one of those where the club doesn't continue through and glide through very well, and we all know that there's a potential on that one for your ball to end up about 4 feet from where it started. So what we're going to do is have a look at this 60-degree wedge, or lob wedge. This one is a wider sole. It's got a lot more bounce. This is 14 degrees of bounce. And so that allows the club to glide through better on longer grass, and particularly if the grass is growing towards you a little bit. So that looks like so. And you notice how that club doesn't want to get stuck at the bottom. It'll glide through a lot better. So the idea on this shot is we're going to actually slide through, and this is one of the rare times in golf where we're going to work the underside of the ball. Well, what does that mean? It means that our club is going to come through and glide to the bottom and then clearly right through, and the ball's going to pop up quite high because we've got a lot of loft on this club, but we don't want to lose the momentum of the club head as we go through, because we want to use that speed to achieve the distance that we're going to cover here. So I'm going to give that a try here with the lob wedge and see how that might react differently than the 9-iron. The 9-iron having a little sharper butter knife look to it. This one a little bit more like a spoon. So let's have a go. Little rehearsal first. Ooh, that came out beautifully. So the idea there, that club is the right tool for the job. Many people are unsure and they come to me and, geez, what do I do with this lob wedge? It seems like a total hit and miss. But part of the idea here is understanding the design of the club and how it's designed to help you on shots like this, where you're greenside and your ball is nesting down. So thanks for joining me. My name is Brian Hann. I hope you enjoyed this video on Straight Goods on Golf. If you want to set up a little at-home station, you just need a little bit of space in your backyard. You obviously don't have the rollout that you'd have at a proper putting green, but you can set up a little target like a hula hoop or an ice cream bucket and hit your little chip and pitch shots into that space.